Hello everyone, welcome back to Math with Allison. Today we're continuing our series on derivatives, so we're going to be talking about L'Hopital's rule. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So with L'Hopital's rule, the exciting part is that we get to combine limits and derivatives. So let's go ahead and evaluate this limit. We have x is approaching 0 of sine of x divided by x. So what we want to go ahead and try first, of course, is direct substitution. So I'm just going to go ahead and plug in that limit value of 0. So here I would get sine of 0 divided by 0. But like we know, sine of 0 is just going to be 0. So this will be 0 over 0. We already know this is super illegal. We can't do this, but it's a special form. When it's 0 over 0, it's actually called indeterminate form. So when it's indeterminate form, we get to use a really special rule called L'Hopital's rule. So this means when we take the limit as x is approaching 0, what we do is we take the derivative, so d dx, of the numerator, which is sine of x, and we also take the derivative of the denominator. Notice this is not quotient rule. We're not taking the derivative of the quotient. We're taking the derivative of the numerator, and we're taking the derivative of the denominator. That is very different. Here I get the limit as x approaches 0, and then the derivative of sine is cosine, and then the derivative of x is just 1. So now what we can do is go ahead and plug in our x value of 0. So here I get cosine of 0, which is equal to 1. So this tells me that the entire limit is actually equal to 1, and that is our solution. So L'Hopital's is a very nice trick we get to use. So there are many different types of indeterminate form. The ones that we're going to be using the most is 0 over 0 and infinity over infinity. It doesn't have to be positive. This could be like negative infinity over infinity, negative infinity over negative infinity, stuff like that. The reason that we're focusing on these two types is that L'Hopital's has to be a quotient. It has to be a fraction. So let's go ahead and go through some examples. We have evaluate the limit as x approaches 0, that whole thing. So of course, what we always need to do first is use direct substitution because we need to see the indeterminate form. So let's go and plug in that value of 0. So I have a value of 0 over 0. This is indeterminate form. So now this tells me I get to use L'Hopital's. This is usually how I express it and how my students have expressed it. So that way I know what they're doing. But what we're going to go ahead and do is take the derivative of the numerator. So the derivative is going to be e to the x minus 1 minus 0. And the derivative of the denominator is going to be negative sine of x. Once we've taken the derivative, we always want to check if it simplifies. It's not going to simplify in this case, so that means we get to use direct substitution again. So let's go ahead and plug in that x value of 0. We get e to the 0 minus 1 all divided by, and that becomes negative sine of 0. So notice here this becomes 1 minus 1 divided by 0, which is equal to 0 over 0. So this tells us that we're going to use L'Hopital's again. It's okay to do it multiple times, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, we checked to see if we can simplify it. We can't simplify it in this case, so let's go ahead and try direct substitution again. So here we get e to the 0 divided by negative cosine of 0. And if you can tell, this is going to work out nicely. This is 1 divided by negative 1, which is just equal to negative 1. And so that is what our limit is equal to. So notice here, it is okay to do L'Hopital's multiple times. You just have to be careful of loops because sometimes it's never going to simplify nicely and we have to try something else. Okay, so here evaluate the limit as x approaches 0 from the right side of sine of x times the natural log of x. Notice here we don't have a quotient. So remember, like I said, in order to use L'Hopital's, it has to be a quotient or a fraction. So that means we actually need to rewrite this. And we're going to rewrite it in a special way. We're going to use our trig property. So the limit, natural log of x, we can't rewrite in any special way. So that one's going to stay in the numerator. But we're going to move that sine of x to the denominator using its inverse, which is cosecant. So that's how you can manipulate trig functions to make it into a quotient. So now, of course, we're going to go ahead and use direct substitution. Let's plug in that 0. When x is approaching 0 from the right, the natural log goes down to negative infinity, right? The function shoots downwards. And if we don't remember what cosecant does, we can go ahead and manipulate it a little bit. So let's think about cosecant. Cosecant is equal to 1 over sine of x, right? So let's think about this. If we plug in 0 approaching from the right side, I know that sine of x is approaching 0. And I know our numerator is still approaching a value of 1. But now it depends, is it approaching 0 from the left or the right? So let's go ahead and whip out our function. So So this is what sine of x looks like. So we're approaching from the right, which means we're approaching 0 from the positive side. So this is approaching positive infinity. And so this is approaching negative infinity divided by positive infinity. So this tells us we can go ahead and use L'Hopital's rule. So I'm going to go ahead and write that out. Natural log of x is equal to 1 over x. And the derivative of cosecant is going to be negative cosecant x times cotangent of x. So if we wanted, we could go ahead and simplify this. We can take a minute to rewrite it. So that 1 over x, that can go to the denominator, right? Cosecant, I can move that up as sine of x, and of course that's still going to be negative. And then cotangent is equal to cosine over sine, but that's in the denominator, so we have to flip it. So that becomes sine in the numerator and cosine in the denominator. So again, we can try to simplify that. I like simplifying it in terms of sine and cosine because I think those are the easiest to remember. Totally up to you. But now that we have this kind of simplified out, let's go ahead and try using direct substitution. So sine of 0 is equal to 0. So our numerator approaches 0. And then in the denominator, we have 0. So this is, again, tells us we can go ahead and use L'Hopital's rule. So we need to take the derivative of the numerator. I'm going to use chain rule. So that negative hangs out, and then I'm going to use power rule. So I'm going to drop down that 2, and I get sine of x. And now I need to multiply by the derivative of the inside. So the derivative of sine is equal to cosine of x. And now in the denominator, we need to take the derivative of x times cosine of x. That tells us actually what we're going to have to do is product rule. So our first thing is x, our second thing is cosine. So I'll go ahead and set that up. Okay, so the derivative of x is just going to be 1. The derivative of cosine is going to be negative sine of x. So to do product rule, we just have to cross multiply and add those together. Alrighty, so we have something going on here. I don't see really how we can simplify that very much. So what we can go ahead and use is direct substitution. Let's go ahead and plug in that value of 0. So I know the numerator is approaching negative 2 times 0 times 1. And in the denominator, we have 1 minus 0. This is looking hopeful. And so when we simplify this one more time, we get 0 over 1, which is just equal to 0. And this is our final solution. So once we get down to an actual solution, we are done. And so this means our entire limit is equal to 0. Okay, we have one more here. So this is already in a quotient, so we don't have to worry about rewriting it, and we can go ahead and try direct substitution first. So let's go ahead and plug in that pi over 2 from the right. Alrighty, so if we remember what tangent of at pi over 2 does from the right side, it's actually shooting down to negative infinity. So our numerator is approaching negative infinity. So let's see what our denominator is doing. Let's look at the natural log. This is like the natural log of pi from the right side minus pi. And so really this is the natural log of 0 from the right side. And like we said, that shoots down to negative infinity. So like we said, negative infinity over negative infinity, that's total grounds for L'Hopital's rule. So we're going to go ahead and use L'Hopital's. The derivative of tangent is going to be secant squared of x. And now we need to divide that by the derivative of natural log. So I know natural log has whatever's on the inside as the bottom, so 2x minus pi, but the numerator has the derivative, and so the derivative of 2x minus pi is just 2. So let's go ahead and try to simplify this a little bit. So we have secant squared of x is being divided by 2 over 2x minus pi. So when we divide, really what that means is we can multiply by the reciprocal. So we just flip that. So if we were to multiply those two, we get the limit as x approaches pi over 2 from the right side. And we can say this is going to be secant squared of x times 2x minus pi. And all of this is going to be divided by 2. If we don't remember what secant of x does, we can just go ahead and write that as cosine in the denominator. That's totally fine to do. I prefer sine and cosine, so I would totally do that. So this looks pretty simplified out. Let's go ahead and try direct substitution. So we get 2. So let's see what this approaches. This becomes pi minus pi in the numerator. And then cosine at pi over 2 is actually equal to 0. So this is going to approach 0 over 0. So this tells us we can go ahead and apply L'Hopital's rule again. I'm going to go ahead and set that up. So the derivative of the numerator is just going to be 2. And now we need to go ahead and set up chain rule for the denominator. So that 2 hangs out here, but I'm going to do power rule first. So I'm going to bring out that 2. That cosine of x stays the same. And now I will multiply by the derivative of the inside. So the derivative of cosine is negative sine. We can go ahead and clean this up. I see one of these 2's cancels out very nicely. If you wanted, you can totally leave it like this. There's also a trig identity where we have 2 cosine of x times sine of x is equal to sine of 2x. I think if you didn't remember that, it will still totally work, but let's go ahead and rewrite it. Okay, so now this looks pretty dang simplified. We want to go ahead and try direct substitution again, so let's plug in pi over 2 from the right side. Okay, so it's negative sine of pi from the right side. Let's go ahead and set up the graph so we can see what it's approaching. Sine starts at 0, it goes up at pi over 2, hits down at pi, and then keeps going like that. So this right here is pi. So we're approaching pi from the right side, which tells us that we're approaching 0 from the negative side. So remember, when we divide by 0, I know this is going to be positive or negative infinity. We just need to pay attention to our signs. So notice here we have this negative out front already, and we're approaching 0 from the negative side. 2 negatives cancel out, and so this leaves us at positive infinity. And that's our final solution. So L'Hopital's can still lead to 1 divided by nonsense. So don't let that throw you off. So that's all I had for us in this video. If you enjoyed it, I have many more like it, so make sure to check out my playlist. They're linked down below. Otherwise, please give this video a thumbs up and comment other problems or topics you'd like to see. Thanks for watching.